Alright guys, welcome back to the channel where today we're talking even more content that was cut from WWE 2K22 as a new post on the WWE Games Reddit reveals that 2K originally planned for several new characters, with these including both new and returning superstars. So we're going to go through all of the details on this and who was cut, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest news on the WWE 2K series, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. So let's talk WWE 2K22, as following the video that I posted earlier this week covering the Bray Wyatt content that was removed, Reddit user CanadaSoulja has posted a list of theme songs that can be found when browsing the game's audio files, with these files confirming even more content that was cut, including both new and returning legends. Now, before we go through the list, to explain how these were found, these themes are listed in the game files and they're all listed in the order that they were added. Therefore, to compile the list, all these themes are listed after Seth Rollins' The Rising theme, which was a new addition to 2K22, as this was the first new theme that was listed after the themes from 2K20. So let's run through the list of hidden themes and break them down, starting out with the Whore Train for The Godfather, who's still in the game but he's locked to my faction. We have Velveteen for Velveteen Dream, which confirms that he was originally planned to appear prior to his release. Then we have an unknown theme, which is titled So You Think You Can Fly, so if you recognise that one, let me know in the comments, as I couldn't find it. We have Blood for Edge and Christian, which is the theme that they used to use in The Brood, which we're going to have more on later. We have the Nation of Domination theme for the Nation of Domination. We Riot for the Riot Squad, which confirms the presence of Ruby Riot, as this listing is for the Riot Squad, which is likely Ruby Riot and Liv Morgan. Then we have the Good Friendship song, which transitions into Let Me In, which is the Fiends theme with a Firefly Funhouse intro. We have It's Time, which is the Hurt Business theme that was removed from the game in patch 1.06. Do You Smell, which is listed for the Rock 98, though according to the notes, this isn't the version used for the Rock 98 character in my faction. This is actually an alternate version from his Nation of Domination run, whereas the version used in my faction is taken from later in his career. This next one is a really interesting one, as we have Thunder, which is Jushin Thunder Liger's theme, as he too was originally scheduled to appear in the game, as the developers plan to include his match with Rey Mysterio at Starrcade 96 in the 2K showcase, though for an unknown reason, Liger was actually dropped from the game, despite 2K having already created the Starrcade 96 arena and Mysterio's attire, both of which was then later repurposed as bonus DLC for the next gen version. Up next we have the Acolytes Ministry theme, which is Farouk and Bradshaw's tag team theme from when they were part of the Ministry of Darkness, which would appear to confirm that 2K originally planned to include a version of Bradshaw as well as JBL. The next listing is another listing for Power, which is the Nation of Domination theme, though this is the same theme that I mentioned earlier, however this version uses the track's official name. We also have another listing for The Rising, which is Seth Rollins' 2020 theme, as this is the second time that this theme is listed, as it was also used as a starting point when compiling this list, with the notes claiming that this may have been relisted when they added the Messiah version of Seth for the 2K showcase. Also listed, we have a remix of Dominance, which is Bobby Lashley's 2020 theme, confirming that that was originally set to be used. We also have Ringwalker for Cameron Grimes, as that's his old theme. And then we have the interesting addition of Cool for Carlito, with this track appearing to confirm that Carlito was originally planned to make his return to the series as a legend, with a note suggesting that 2K may have planned to include him as part of the 2006 Royal Rumble match in the 2K showcase, though that match was also dropped. Moving on to the next hidden theme, we have confirmation that Adam Cole was set to be included as a singles character after leaving the Undisputed era, as 2K included Thunderboom, which is Adam Cole's singles theme. Also included, we have Haircut, which is Brutus the Barber Beefcake's theme, which would suggest that he was originally planned to return after appearing in 2K20, though for an unknown reason he was actually cut from 2K22. Up next we have another listing for Blood, which is the Brood's theme, though this one is actually listed for Gangrel, which suggests that 2K had plans to include the entire Brood stable, though this was obviously dropped after Christian signed with AEW. Moving on, we have Undisputed, which is the theme used for the Undisputed era prior to their removal. Then we have Rollin' for an Undertaker 2001 version, which is apparently the Limp Bizkit track. We also have Protection for the APA, which is another tag team theme for Farouk and Bradshaw, despite them not being included as a tag team. Then we have another version of Undisputed, with this one listed as a singles track for Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. So this one would appear to indicate that there were also plans to include Undisputed era versions of these four, which were most likely to be used as part of My Rise. Also listed, we have a few versions of the Good Friendship song, which is the Firefly Funhouse theme, with this first one listed for Alexa Bliss. We also have Protection and Nation of Domination for Farouk and Farouk 98, with a note suggesting that this was the point where the developers dropped plans to include the APA and the Ministry version of the Acolytes as they began listing Farouk and JBL separately. Also dropped, we have a listing for the Nation of Domination theme for Mark Henry 98 and Kama Mustafa, which confirms that there were originally plans to include a classic version of Mark Henry, along with plans to include Mustafa, who despite not making the cut, would go on to be included as Papa Shango, with a locked version of The Godfather also appearing in My Faction. The next theme listed is another version of the Good Friendship song, which is the Firefly Funhouse theme, with this one listed for Bray Wyatt's Funhouse persona. Also listed, we have the surprise edition of Recognition, which is Charlotte's 2015 theme, with a note suggesting that this could be for upcoming content in My Faction. Next up, we have another listing for We Riot, with this being a singles theme for Ruby, confirming that she was originally part of the game's roster. Also part of the game's roster, we have War Ready for Bronson Reed, who was another character that was planned to be included prior to his release, and whose character model was also reportedly finished, as modders within the community were able to find it in the game files and even make it playable in-game. Speaking of hidden characters, we also have Dudester for Dude Love, with this one listed as also having brand new Titantrons and commentary, therefore there's a good chance that we could see this version of Foley added to My Faction. Staying with Foley, we also have his schizophrenic theme for Mankind 97, which is said to be an almost complete port of his model from 2K20. Finally, the last of the hidden themes is the Second Coming for Seth Rollins 2017, which is the theme that's assigned to the classic version of Seth in My Faction. So as you can see, there are a ton of hidden themes that are still included, with 33 hidden themes listed in total, and a lot of which confirm plans for several superstars that were removed. So the biggest news here is that 2K had originally planned to include Carlito, Jushin Thunder Liger, Gangrel, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Ruby Riott, Mark Henry and Bronson Reed, though all of those stars were cut from the game during development, either due to releases from the company or due to a change in plans relating to the 2K showcase. So it's pretty interesting to go through the list and see what was originally planned, as it would have been cool to see the addition of Jushin Thunder Liger in the 2K showcase, or the return of the Brood, as it would have been awesome to see a 3-man entrance for Edge and Christian with Gangrel, though obviously those plans would have been dropped when Christian signed with AEW. So while it is cool to see what was planned, it's also pretty disappointing to see what could have been, as a lot of these stars would have been a great addition. So let me know what you make of this news in the comments, and which of the stars that were cut that you would have wanted to see the most. I was a big fan of the Brood, so I would have loved to see them make the game, so hearing that they were originally planned is pretty devastating. So let me know what you make of this in the comments, and if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest on WWE 2K, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.